I would think, after Me Too
Mm,
and, everything that we have had to fight for in this country
hmm.
for women's rights, you know, and this whole idea of the patriarchy and
Hmm.
toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
all of these things, but all of a sudden, men can come and join our sports.
Hmm.
That, I don't know, that to me is so, I feel like it is an important piece that the psychological part of it, I don't feel like is really being addressed. And I think that's
Hmm.
why we're seeing such an uptick in girls, suicide hospitalizations and the
Yeah.
anxiety, because like you said, they're being this is like they're not, their needs are not being addressed. It's
Hmm.
like they're not being seen.
Yeah. And social media has had a huge effect on that. If you look at the graph of the uptick in depression, anxiety,
Yeah,
suicide, it's really epidemic. And it
sure.
corresponds with the explosion of social media.
Hmm.
I had a really good friend who was telling me, I'd never thought about it this way, but she said, when we were in school and you had, I'll call her Jackie, you had Jackie the jerk, and she was in a couple of your classes and she was mean to you and she had her little friends, and maybe at lunch they'd sit across the lunchroom from you and be nasty.
Yeah,
But then you just had them during those classes and during lunch, and you'd go home and you were free of them until the next day.
right.
That's not the way it is for kids anymore. Jackie
That's
has
right.
access to you 24/7. You are
Yeah.
in this constant social media soup. And I am of the mind now that no child should have access to social media, and I'm
Mm.
right on the edge of thinking no adult should either, because it is such a toxic place. It is
It
so
truly
toxic,
is.
and it's destroying our kids.
You are so right. I think about all the things that our children have access to, even
Mhm.
beyond social media. I was looking at did you hear about this story about the sexuality education teacher in Enfield, Connecticut, who was teaching sexual desire to 8th graders?
I'm not at all surprised. I've heard so many stories about inappropriate things being taught. Yeah.
Yeah, he was equating he it's crazy. He was
Mm,
equating like, let's say kissing is like cheese, or
mm,
yeah, he was equating sexual desires to pizza. He was making these metaphors around pizza.
mm.
And as I'm reading through his like bio, and he has a book and he's done TED Talks, and I'm just thinking like, my God, this guy has been around for a long time, and we parents don't know,
Yeah.
this is just making it to the news. And the crazy thing about it is that none of us, it's like the more we hear about these things, the more I don't want us to get numb to it. And it's
Mhm,
like, yes, it's the social media, but this guy is talking about like pornography.
mhm.
This guy is talking about like some things that even that taken to social media expands, his message. So it's like the kids
Yeah.
are in the classroom hearing this stuff. Then they're like you said, they're
Mhm.
on social media, and now they can like, laugh and joke and talk about it, and then they can go
Yeah.
look him up
Right.
and have access to his book and have, you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
just layers upon layers of just damaging material
Yeah.
that is being delivered to our children on like 24/7. And it's like, no wonder these kids
Yeah.
are struggling with mental health issues. It's like
It's
it's
so
unbelievable.
hard to protect them. It is so hard to put a
Yeah.
shield around them because it is just everywhere. It's in the air, it's in the water, it's in
Mhm.
the food, it's just in everything. Earlier today, I was doing a little bit of research and I looked up Pornhub. I just searched Pornhub and
Mhm.
pulled up the front page of their website, and it
Mhm.
had 6 images on it that are porn. There was nothing covered up. Everything was right there. This is on the front page of their website.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
So
there
it's like,
wasn't.
so there isn't even like a warning, basically,
No,
like,
mm-mm.
okay, you need to be a certain age to enter this website, or like they even try to
Mhm.
conceal anything.
No,
Wow.
it's just
Yeah.
right there, and, I've had the situation with my daughter. She wanted to, make a Halloween costume. I don't
Hmm.
know if you know Ahsoka Tano. She's a character from the Star Wars series.
Hmm.
She's a popular if you're into that.
Yeah.
Um, so my daughter searched Ahsoka Tano to look up her costume and immediately got bombarded with pornography of people
What?
who have taken that character and done pornographic artwork around her. And
Wow.
it's impossible to completely shield your kids from this stuff. And that's by design. It's been very
Yeah.
intentional.
I agree because I remember when I was trying to get like a good parental control um app for my kids' phones, and it was like these things don't really work. It's like
Mm,
they still don't it's like it conceals everything. Like if it wasn't even
mm,
working, because like if they had to do a project, it's like, okay, well now they shut down even like legitimate websites. And like
yeah.
I it's like if you can track what we say, if you can track our behavior and all of this stuff, they have all these advanced algorithms.
Mhm.
You can certainly know how to decipher legitimate websites apart from websites that are harmful to kids.
I
And
would
like I
think.
said, it is certainly intentional.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
and it
really
has
is.
to make you wonder, like, why is our society trying to come after our kids in such a way that is so dangerous to them, that would have them ill prepared for their next phases of life?
It's
Like,
money. It's money. You follow the money, and I don't know if
yeah.
you're familiar with Jennifer Billick, the 11th Hour blog. She's done a lot of investigative work, around where this is coming from and who's driving it,
Mm,
and it's this trifecta of, the pharmaceutical companies, the gender clinics, and,
yeah.
um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? All of the people, the cosmetic surgeons,
Oh, yes.
they're making money hand over fist with
Yep.
this. I've seen 3 market reports in the last year that say that sex reassignment surgery alone, not even puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, just sex reassignment surgery is expected to be a $1.5 billion industry by 2026. That is
What?
not possible unless it is being marketed actively, which it is. You get kids
That is
onto the medical.
insane.
It's horrifying. It's really horrifying, but you get kids on the medicalization path, and once they're medicalized, they are very likely medicalized for life.
Mm,
Pharmaceutical companies know this.
yep.
They want to have consumers, they want to have customers as early as they can get them. So you get a kid on cross-sex hormones. After it can be as little as a couple of months, your body stops making its own hormones. So I'm a woman, my body
Mhm,
makes estrogen, that's what I run
mhm.
on.
Yep.
If I started going on testosterone because I wanted to transition to people thinking I'm a man,
Mhm,
it can be a very short amount of time, can be just a few months, my body quits making estrogen. So
wow.
after I detransition and I go, "You know what? I was lied to. I'm not a man, I'm really a woman."
Mhm.
I've then got to take synthetic estrogen for the rest of my life because my body doesn't make it anymore. So the pharmaceutical companies don't care if the kids detransition. They've still got customers. Is that
Oh
nefarious?
my gosh, Maria, that is so groundbreaking. I've never thought about it like that, and I've had a lot of these conversations. I
Mm,
never thought about the detransition side and making that connection, that they still get to have their hands on you in some type of way. That
oh, yeah.
is really fascinating. So
Have you ever
they
had
don't care one way or the other.
No, because if you've had a hysterectomy, you've
Mhm.
got to take hormones for the rest of your life.
Right.
If you've had your breasts cut off,
Ugh.
if you ever want to have, you might need to have reconstruction.
Yeah.
It's a cash cow for them. It's just a cash cow.
Wow.
And Jennifer Billick has followed the money on this, and she's been very open with her
Yeah.
research. I really recommend people go and read her stuff.
Yeah.
This is about money. It's also about politicizing.
True.
Um, it angers me when I see what's happened with the TQ hitching its wagon to the LGB. No
Mm,
matter what your perspective is on same-sex attraction, the
mhm.
LGB, the lesbian, gay, bi community is very, very different from the TQ. The
That is so true.
It has hitched its wagon to the LGB.